Hi everyone, it's Nisha. So today I wanted to review and demo for you the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation. My friend Carmen from US sent me a little sample in number 33 and I tried it once, and I've told you before I had mixed feelings, but I sort of liked it. And then Karen from Mrs. Ginger Beauty channel, thank you Karen, sent me full size of this one because she said it was too dark for her. And this one is in number 28, Bisque Taupe. Okay, so the bottle is glass, looks like this. You take the top off and you unscrew this top, and you get this. It's not a dropper, it's just the applicator. It's plastic, it's got a bowl on the end. So this is foundation concentrate, which means that it has very high percentage of pigment, and a lot of foundations these days seem to be going that way. It is not like the Cover Effects drops, because that's just pure pigment. This is still foundation, but with very high concentration of pigment, which is supposed to give you beautiful full coverage without too much product on, because you need such a tiny amount. If you ever try this foundation, don't think you can apply it like any other foundation, because you will hate it. So you need such a tiny amount, you will see. So let me put some on my hand. So this color is pretty good for me actually, for the winter. I want you to remember that if you see that the color is quite dark, it will look lighter, which is very unusual for foundation. Usually foundations oxidize and go darker. This one, when you apply, it will go lighter than what it is in a bottle. So I advise you take a sample, and it probably seems darker because of the high concentration of pigment, but once you spread out this pigment, it's not as... So it was much darker than when I rubbed it in, because when I saw the number 33, which I've got a sample of, it looked quite orange, but when I applied it, it looked really good. So this would be good for my, so that's the number 33. But once you buffed it in, you see it doesn't look as yellow. So remember that it goes a bit lighter on your face than what it is in a bottle. So if you, my coloring, number 33 I would say is really good for when you have a bit of tan. Of course, even if you've got more tan, you can then bronze it. And number 28, is it 28? Yes, Bisque Taupe is good for me for the winter. I've bronzed it a bit, obviously, because I am not very pale. I don't have much tan or fake tan, but I'm not really pale yet. So what can I tell you about this foundation? It is, you better like full coverage. If you want to use this foundation, you must like full coverage, and I love full coverage. It covers beautifully. You need tiny amount. What I've used with it and what I found the best to use with it, I don't have the Marc Jacobs brush, but I've used this It Cosmetic brush, and I don't think that has any number on it or name, no, but it's the double-ended. I think this is originally for the powder CC foundation. So it's got the concealer brush on this side and the foundation brush on this one, and I really like that brush. You will see in a demo. So it covers beautifully. The finish is powdery to me. It almost looks like you've already powdered, but when you touch it, it still feels tacky. So although you look at it and you think I shouldn't be setting it with powder because it looks powdery, I feel I have to because it feels tacky. I don't think this foundation feels quite oily when you touch it. I suppose it's a bit similar to those serum foundations, which I normally don't like. So I don't know how moisturizing it is. I don't know how that would do for dry skin, being so powdery. I at the moment have pretty normal skin. I don't even have oily T-zone lately, and I don't know if this is because of the summer or it's hormonal and it's all changing, but my skin is pretty normal right now, so I don't know how that will look on dry skin. I notice it that it is noticeable. It is not very cakey. Believe me, I've seen more cakey foundations, but it does seem to sort of settle crease in little lines, like my forehead lines. But I quite like it. I quite like it. I don't know. It is pretty made up look. So I think, but I like that anyway. But if you don't, this would be really good foundation for a night out when you're going out and you want really lovely full coverage. So I think if you don't have very dry skin and not too many lines, I think for very mature skin that wouldn't be good. I think you would settle in all the lines. But I've worn this couple of times before, but I don't normally check throughout the day how it wears. So today I will check how it wears. So I will go into demo now. So work in small sections. I mean, honestly, this is tiny amount, but that is gonna do the whole side of my face. So I think it's best to work in small sections, and if you want to build it up, then you can. I do one side first so you can see. I mean, they are tiny dots. I might be putting a few dots on, but there is hardly any product on it. So the finish of it, I mean, it is full coverage, all right, but it's almost powdery. It looks quite thick. So that's one side. I'm not going with it under my eyes. I haven't tried it under my eyes, but because it is so pigmented, I don't think I want to. Okay, let's do the other side. I feel this being quite powdery. It's not dry though. It's not too sticky, but it's not very dry. So because of the look of it, I feel like I shouldn't put any powder on, but when I feel it, I feel I should, because it is not completely dry. Okay, I don't know how well you can see it, but I do feel that it emphasizes pores, and I don't have very big pores. I mean, I've got 2 craters here and 1 here, but you know the little pores that most of us have here, it definitely emphasizes them. And also, like, I don't normally see this little wrinkle here, tiny little wrinkles on the side of my mouth, and I can see them now. And here it sort of creases in your lines. I on purpose didn't put much on my forehead because I have quite deep couple of lines here, and that usually settles. So let me do my concealer now. I'm going to use, as usual, the Naked from Urban Decay. And like I said, when you look at it, it doesn't look like you need any powder, but I really think you still need to set it because I'm sure it will move. So I am going to use a bit of my Laura Mercier mineral powder just to set it. And you know, to bring some life, I find it quite flat and powdery looking. And I know I'm using powder now, but I've said to you many times before, this mineral powder definitely adds luminosity to your skin. It doesn't make it as flat. I've mixed rich vanilla and classic beige because this color of foundation is quite light. I think it'd be perfect for the winter when I'm much paler. But I feel, can you see that brings a bit more life to your face? The full coverage foundations usually leave you quite flat. I'm just buffing it in, it's not applying much, just buffing it in. Let me now use the L.A Girl Pro Concealer under. Okay, so I finished my makeup. I've videoed this for you, so you will get a tutorial out of it as well. I've put all my powders and my illuminators and my blush, and I think it's looking really lovely. It is very full coverage. It looks like makeup, but I like that anyway. But we will see now how it wears throughout the day. What time is it? It's 11 o'clock in the morning right now. So I don't know, I'll come back in a couple of hours and tell you how it wears. So I see you in a bit. Okay, so it's 2:30 now. So how many hours is that? 3.5 hours. From the distance, this looks beautiful. It doesn't look like anything has gone wrong with it. The coverage is still there. But when I look close up, I can see it has started gathering around my nose. I don't know if you can see it. I will try to zoom it in. Started gathering around my nose and about a bit here. These are not looking too bad. And also, it's sort of breaking up a bit on my chin. Going a bit cakey. But it's not too bad. Still, I mean, it looks still very good on my cheeks, and like I said, from the distance it looks beautiful, a lovely coverage, and it still looks very even. So yeah, just a tiny breakage round and gathering around my nose and on my chin. So I check with you again in a few hours. I probably won't go as far as 10-11 o'clock at night, but you know, I would normally take my makeup off about 6 o'clock in the evening. So yeah, I check with you a bit later. Okay, so this is last check-in is 5 o'clock. So I've had it on now for 6 hours, and I must say it looks almost the same. It tends to gather definitely in lines, like it has gathered here in this little crease here, around my nose, a bit more now in these lines, and it's gone a bit greasy in the middle, but all in all it looks okay. So it is definitely high coverage. It is quite expensive, but it will last you forever because you're using such a small amount, because it is such a high concentration of pigment, so you don't need much at all. Remember also that the color you see in the bottle usually will be a bit lighter on your skin. It is so dark in a bottle because of the high concentration of pigment. I don't know how it will work on dry skin. It might work okay, but the look might be a bit, because the look is quite powdery. It is not as bad now, especially in my T-zone, because my oils come through. I haven't touched up or anything. So yeah, I do really like it. I don't know, I wouldn't probably use it in the summer, and I wouldn't use it maybe for every day. To me, this is more of a made up look, so which I like, and I could use it every day, but I think with the gathering in places in the daylight you can really see it, so I would probably use it mostly for an evening out, for night out, for something like that where you don't see really close up and in the real daylight. Yes, so I don't know how it looks in a camera, but from a distance, when I look at myself in a mirror, it looks really pretty, and so yeah, I quite like it. And if you like full coverage and you have normal skin, then you probably will like this foundation. So if I was you, I would definitely go and get a sample of 2 or 3 different colors and try it and play with it a bit. Like I said, I found it the best way to apply it with the brush. I haven't tried the Marc Jacobs brush, but I'm sure they are beautiful. I just tried the It Cosmetic brush. So that's it for my review of the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation. I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you in my next video. Bye!